welcome back into the golf farm. We are breaking down Jack Nicklaus, my favorite golfer of all time. Many consider him the greatest player of all time. Amy is going to run the computer a little bit. She's going to contribute to the conversation too. I think what stood out to me in all the years growing up and observing Jack is just the way he stood at the ball. You know what I mean? And some of these little triggers that helped him move. You know what I mean? But as we look at him right here, you can kind of see he's one of these guys that loves at least left ear on the ball. You can kind of see where his head center is. And you also see the knees, how they're angled this way because of the feet and how they're slightly flared, especially the front. Front is a little bit more flared than the back, but he's sitting in a really athletic posture. I think that's what we loved about Jack. Don't you think, Amy? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ball position was pretty far forward too.
It was, what did you say, a couple inches inside his left heel kind of?
Yep, and his handle is, I would say, pretty far forward, and then his left ear's on the ball, like you said. I think that's really athletic looking.
Yeah, and I'm sure the influence there was he was a high ball hitter, didn't take much of a divot. He kind of saw that was his interest, so he kind of set up and prepared for that ball flight. Yep.
I like the trigger too. If you see, like, we're always kind of moving. He's got his waggle and then kind of like straighten the arms and then shift the pressure like in your feet a little bit right there.
Yeah, you can kind of see left, right. Almost, yeah, like Amy and I love triggers. So when you're sitting here, no matter what your waggle is, whether you're waggling your feet or your rear end or whatever, you can kind of see Jack, how he's kind of getting prepared. And one of the things that stood out to me as a kid, and now that I'm kind of a golf instructor and somebody that really enjoys and appreciates the nuance of golf, is as you watch him here and he's trying to get like moving, the first thing he does before he starts moving his club is he kind of actually pushes his arms and lengthens them.
Yeah.
Kind of down, yeah. So go ahead and maybe we'll move him back a little bit. See Jack preparing, you know, getting up to the top of his backswing. We love where he is right there. Like, he's very centered, you know what I mean? You can see how his legs have changed flex. We talk about that in our training, right? He's got some hip turn to allow his rib cage to turn. He gets to the top, and one thing about Jack is he had quite a linear push. You're gonna see it in this. So when he got here, you're gonna see this recentering, getting his chest on the ball like that. Right there, beautiful.
Left knee outside the left foot.
Yeah, left knee outside the left foot. You can kind of see like how he like triggered that. That was kind of his trigger to move forward. Yep. Great wrist conditions right there. Yep. And then as he goes through, you can kind of see how his knees worked. Instead of this one locking up, right, and posting up like that, you saw that knee softly move like that because he's thinking about this trajectory like this. You know what I mean? To hit a ball high. Kind of like if you're going to throw water up in the air versus down on the ground like that.
One thing that you always talk about with Jack that I think is interesting is you say that he tried to get the club head on the ball as quick as he can from the top.
From the top.
Which is interesting because when you see here, you can see how much wrist angle he kind of still has.
Yeah, he's got a good leg component.
He's feeling something a little bit different.
Yeah. Yeah. As he kind of goes through the ball, you can kind of see how his head center stayed kind of stable, and his basically his mass of his body is kind of winning. You know, you see it out there like this and his head's like this. That was his high, soft fade. He was brilliant. Yep. So pretty. You see his knees. His knees are still working like that. Jack was an exceptional ball striker. He really was. And he was able to hit these high, soft, mid-iron shots like he's illustrating here. So that's Jack Nicklaus. Hope you enjoyed that.